Today, we're going to talk about mindset shifts to crush your interview. So, if you've got an interview coming up, this is the right place, the right video for you. Stay tuned. In my program, we have a list of interview crushing thoughts, and it's a very, very long list. It's like several pages long, and people always tell me how much they've gained from it and what they got. So I'm going to give you today in this video a few of those thoughts. And I don't want the video to get too long, so we'll get through as many as we can, okay? So the goal of changing your thought process is to make you feel differently. So every thought you have will create a feeling. It's attached to a feeling. So thoughts and feelings go hand in hand. So for example, if you think, what if they don't think I have enough experience in blank? And that's the thought, the sentence that you think, the feeling will likely be nervous, uncertain, hesitant, right? Whereas if you think, I have tremendous value to add to this position, then your feeling is going to be different. Your feeling will likely be confident, motivated, excited, and you'll act very differently depending on how you are feeling. So the thoughts that I'm going to share with you today, they are meant to evoke a feeling that is going to be effective for you to interview from. Because really, your feelings are everything. They're where everything starts. So the first one is, I'm always taken care of one way or another. So this, if you think this and you're able to believe this, I'm always taken care of one way or the other. I always look back at my past and I always think to myself, I have always been taken care of one way or the other. I've never been on the street. I've never been without. I've always had enough. I've always had more than enough growing up. Now, that might not be the case all the time, but if you're here and you're watching this and you have a computer screen, I'm sure that is the case for you and you can find evidence for that. So I'm always taken care of one way or another. The reason that's important is because you can go into the interview with sufficiency, thinking, I don't need anything from anybody. I'm always taken care of one way or another. And when you start from that place, it just releases any needy, desperate energy that you might have or any graspiness that you might have to attachment to that one position, right? And when you do that, you actually way increase your chances of getting the position because you're not in that needy, graspy, this has to work out energy, okay? The second one, it's a chance to connect with some cool humans. So if you think about ahead of time, you think about them as being cool humans, potential coworkers, people you're going to get to work with, and that's how you think of them, then you're going to likely treat them as such, converse with them as such, and it's going to be very different than if you were to think of them as dragons in the dragon's den who are going to be interrogating you and maybe asking you things you don't know and trying to trip you up. They're not, right? Just think of them as, I get to meet some cool humans. See how that feels though. Everything that I say, if it doesn't land in your body, right? Like if it doesn't feel good for you, then it won't work for you. You can just throw it out. So just take what works for you and be like, okay, that's a good one. I'm going to write that down or I'm going to think that one. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to get to learn more about an organization and what kind of life-changing work they're doing and if I want to be a part of it. Okay, so you get to think about that ahead of time and that could generate some excitement, some curiosity. These are feelings that are going to propel your interview in a good way forward, right? Number 4, I love reflecting on the cool things I've done. So this is one that I used a lot. I'm like, I really love it when they ask me questions about myself because it's a place for me to reflect on all the things that I've done that were unique or noteworthy or I'm proud of, right? So that's a good way to think about an interview. I had one colleague who used to say, I love interviews. It's an hour where I get to talk about myself. And most people, they like talking about themselves. All right. Number 5, it's a great opportunity to brag about some of the things I've done. Now, if this makes you uncomfortable, there might be something to look at there because a lot of people don't brag enough. They're mostly trying to make it sound like they're humble or whatever. And in an interview, that doesn't serve you. So you want to come up with a way that you can brag, that you can feel comfortable with your accomplishments, that you can clearly state them and the value of them without having to feel like you're coming on too strong or being too much. Because think about it, other people are going to be doing that, right? So that comes with a balance of also telling the truth about some of your mistakes and being vulnerable and creating that connection. I talk a lot about that too, but bragging is essential. You do need to say some things about yourself that you're proud of, that you like talking about. So that's something to look forward to in an interview. A simple statement like, I can help them. That's really powerful when you think about it. If you simply think to yourself, I can help them, how do you feel? If part of you feels uncertain, then you could change that statement to, I will discover whether I can help them, right? And this depends on where your confidence level is. So if you have a baseline confidence, let's say, and you do believe you can help them, then that statement might be really helpful. If you doubt whether or not you can help them, and if you have really low self-confidence, that might be something that you need to build up. So I recommend one of my episodes. It's called Intentional Self-Confidence. It actually helps you build self-confidence on the spot. We can link that up. The next one is, of course they'll want to hire me. This is what I used to think. I used to think this, and it proved true most of the time. If they didn't want to hire me, I didn't think it was anything about me. So I would always think, of course they're going to want to hire me, right? And when I thought that ahead of time, the way that I showed up was much different, right? So if you think about, if you go into an interview and you're expecting them to want to hire you, you assume good things. You assume they do want to hear what you have to say. You assume they're interested in you. You assume that they already like you. If you assume those things, then your attitude, the way you show up, your presence, your energy is going to be much different than if you assume they won't want to. If you're assuming other people are better, if you're assuming that you don't have enough to offer, if you're assuming that it's not going to work out, then you will show up differently, right? And the results, they're not completely within your control. However, you have power in your assumption. And a lot of people are afraid to assume the best because they believe that if they assume the best and then it doesn't happen in the way they want, then they're going to feel disappointed. However, the fact of everything you have now is based on your assumptions that you already had in the past, right? So it's based on what you were assuming previously is what you have now. So assume the best, continue to assume the best until the best happens. So that's why I like to think, of course they want to hire me. Next one. The hardest part of the hiring process is getting past the application. So you've already gotten past the hardest part. It could be that simple. And if you've already gotten past the hardest part, you know what that means. It means the rest of it can be easy. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to hire you or not. It just means you can have an easy time having a conversation with them, and you can have an easy time talking about your accomplishments, asking them about their challenges. You can have an easy conversation. You can have an easy interview. That can be a thing. That can be a feeling. I know it because that's how I did it. That's how I do it. I'm like, I lean into things that are easy for me. And if interviewing hasn't always been easy for you, take this one. It's just a discussion. So a lot of the times people will have a lot of pressure simply because of the word interview. Like they're like, interview. It makes them tense up. It makes them feel pressured. It makes them feel like they're going to be put under a microscope or interrogated. So for a lot of my clients, it has helped tremendously to just think of it as a discussion or a meeting. So that can really help you to just relax and be like, it's a discussion. It's a meeting. All right. They are looking for what I do well. They want to know what I do well. And they're interested in how that matches up to what they need. That can be very simple as well. And when you believe that, when you believe they want to know what I do well, you're going to do your very best and you're going to probably do a very good job at telling them what you do really well. So that's another really good one. They want to know what I do well. These are very simple sentences. And I just want you to recognize as I say each one, how does it feel in your body? And like I said, if one doesn't work for you, throw it out. If one you like, keep it, write it down, repeat it, embody it. Another really good one I like is, this is just two people coming together to make a decision, right? And that could be just like on a first date, you're coming together and the decision will be, will there be a second date? Will this go any further? Right? We're just two people coming together to make a decision. Simple. Another one I like is I am at this interview for a reason. I'm here to learn something. I'm here to get hired. I'm here to meet somebody. I'm here for a reason because you wouldn't be there otherwise. All right, love this one. I can't wait to find out what they need so I can help them solve it. This induces deep curiosity. I can't wait to find out what they need. That's the sentence. And when you think about what they might need, you take the focus off yourself. And when you're not focused on yourself, when you're focused on them and helping them with their problem, you automatically become more valuable in just thinking that way. Because most people are focused on themselves in a negative way, and that does a disservice to both the person and to the person interviewing them because they don't get a real feel for who the person is. Because when you're feeling really insecure, panicked, uncertain, like you might not be enough, you won't come across as your best. You simply can't. That part of you isn't accessible because of the way you've chosen to think in that moment. So when you move from it's not about me, it's about solving their problems and like factually seeing whether or not I can, whether or not I have, whether or not it's something I look at and I think, yes, I'm excited to, even if you haven't done it before. So I'm not saying you have to have done everything before. I'm saying, is it something you can figure out, you want to figure out? You move into curiosity. And that is a depth that most interviewers don't even go to. They just focus on answer the question. Did I answer it right? Okay, good. Did I get a good reaction? Good. They're just looking at like external validation. When you are focused and rooted in curiosity, you will interview much, much better. Okay, so that's a good one. Any thoughts that evoke curiosity, which are, oh, I wonder what they're going to be doing in the next 3 months that they really need this hire brought on for. Find that out, right? Oh, I wonder why this position is open now. My favorite question to ask them is, what would blow your mind for you to achieve, for the new hire to achieve in this role in the first 3 months and 6 months? All right. Those are the ones I'm going to share with you today. And if you are interviewing, you haven't landed a role yet, and you don't know why, I have the answer for you. So I've created a guide. It's called Why Your Interviews Don't Convert to Offers. And I've written 68 reasons why that could be. The guide is perfectly skimmable. You can just click on whatever resonates with you and the PDF will take you right to that. You don't have to read the whole thing. Just see what might be for you. My goal, my mission is to solve this problem, okay? Because I know it's solvable, okay? Now, this doesn't mean you're going to get every single job you interview for, but it will mean that you will start to match up to the right ones, and the ones you are correctly matched to, you will start to get offers for. So download that guide right away. You can click in the link below, and I also have a 3-day free training. So when you sign up for that, you will get that guide and a few other bonus gifts that I have for you. And if you want more of my help, if you want to work with me further, you will get more information there. And I can't wait to meet you. Bye-bye.